So it's right around 9:15 p.m. on Saturday, Saturday, January 28th. And this needs to be made for the record because there is a pretty significant case in court right now with the landlord who is claiming that I am violating the lease, and that is why they have to end my tenancy. In the meantime, there are some very severely mentally disturbed, psychotic tenants living in the units immediately adjacent to mine, Unit 88, Unit 76, and Unit 78, where the tenants are verifiably violent, mentally ill, with some significant criminal histories to their names, and they violate the lease on an hourly basis towards me. And over the last 2 hours, the severely disturbed, psychotic, mentally unstable, dysregulated psychopath who lives in the bathroom of Unit 78 that is directly behind the wall of my kitchen sink has been engaging in some extremely disruptive and harmful behaviors towards me that prevent me from being able to use the premises as I need to and when I need to. And this person gets incredibly dysregulated directly against the wall behind my kitchen sink whenever I do anything that is personal or private, whether in my bathroom or in my living space. At the same time, the perverted nut job in Unit 88 and the violent thug directly below in 76 also tend to get very agitated against the shared walls of my unit with theirs whenever I try to do anything personal or private, such as removing my clothing or changing out of, even my shirt. They get really agitated over that. And they only get agitated when I do stuff like that. They don't get agitated when I'm, let's say, scrolling through my emails or wiping down the counter. They only get agitated when I do anything of a sexual nature that could be interpreted as being sexual. I mean, taking off your clothes is not sexual unless you're a pervert and you want to make it into something sexual. Taking off my clothes is something I need to do as part of, a normal daily routine. You can't wear the same clothes all the time. So you do have to change out of them. And whenever I try to change out of my clothes, the psychotic nut jobs in 88, 76, and 78 directly behind my kitchen sink start becoming very agitated. So number 88 likes to smack the wall pretty hard repeatedly, so he's probably punching it or kicking it. Number 76 starts slamming furniture or some kind of stick or rod against the area directly below my bed when I try to change out of my clothes or do anything that's personal or private that they can somehow have knowledge of. And the psychotic nut job psychopath in 78 sits behind the wall of my kitchen sink and becomes violent and agitated whenever I do anything that's personal or private, including just trying to use my toilet. So she makes it very difficult for me to use my bathroom as I need to and when I need to. And starting at 7 p.m. this evening, it is now 9:15, she started smoking, burning, heating, and propagating nauseating smelling chemical substances or narcotics directly behind the wall of my kitchen sink with her bathroom. So the fumes are not coming from the hallway or from any other source other than the area directly behind my kitchen sink. And she started filling my entire living space continuously with those fumes and odors, starting at 7 p.m. and going all the way through now, which is 9:15. Intermittently during those 2 hours, I tried to use the kitchen sink of my unit that shares pipes and a wall with the bathroom of the psychopath, and the water started creating some problems in terms of being able to use it. It was coming out intermittently, it was going from hot to cold for no reason, and the quality of the water started affecting my ability to use it, meaning I started developing some sudden and instant stabbing pains under my rib cage within moments of exposure to that water with bare hands. I've made multiple videos about how the water from that tap intermittently makes me suddenly ill with symptoms consistent with chemical contamination, and these symptoms do not occur at any other tap anywhere else in this building or anywhere else in the city. They are specific only to that one tap in my unit that shares pipes with the bathroom of a known psychopath. A psychopath is someone who has a compulsive urge to hurt other people. Psychopaths do not have any remorse. They do not have normal emotions. And they have this narcissistic rage towards people who do not do what they want them to do. So apparently, because I don't want to have anything to do with the psychopath in 78, she has narcissistic rage about that and engages constantly in intrusive and aggressive behavior towards me because she knows I don't want to have anything to do with her. She sits in her bathroom for hours being disruptive because she knows that it forces me to have some kind of awareness of her presence just a few feet behind that wall. So that is the mindset of a psychopath. And she's also a stalker, and that needs to be noted as well. Stalking actually does go along with psychopath behavior. Because these people have such severe mental health issues, they stalk people without even knowing it. They just follow people around because that's something they need to do in order to feel somehow balanced or, well within themselves. They latch onto certain people, they target people, and then they basically just won't leave them alone. And then when that person refuses to have anything to do with them, then the psychopath engages in physical harm. So when the psychopath behind the bathroom of my kitchen sink starts tampering with the water from my tap, or deliberately burning and smoking substances that are absolutely nauseating and sickening and that fill my entire living space, that is her way of trying to inflict as much physical harm upon me as she possibly can. So I just left a voicemail for management regarding this issue, and I will be following up with an email as well. This video is for documentation purposes that are related to a legal case that is currently in court with the landlord.